All right, Life Unrehearsed Facebook Live, second segment. Dr. Dan Samaha is in the house.
Glad to be in.
Optometrist Dan, thanks for being with it. Dr. Dan, we're going to call you, all right?
And
You good with that?
Yeah,
Corey's going to call.
Everything about eye care, and it is quite amazing about how many issues you can have with eye care.
Yeah.
Can't wait for this segment.
We're struggling to find someone who really wanted someone.
Yeah,
because-
Matt told me he had a guest that was planned, and then something fell through, and then he didn't know I was an eye doctor until
So
recently.
funny.
But we've known
We've
each
known
other
him
for
for
years.
15 years.
So when I
We've
say
put
that, I
in the
said-
locker
and
room
he
beside
didn't-
each other.
I had no idea. I said, yeah, but what position does he play? Like that, he was
Yeah.
able to
Yeah,
tell.
that's right. Right where you're shot, Speedy Dan.
Yeah.
And he's an optometrist. Who knew?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Priorities.
All right, we should be live in about another minute or so.
Right.
It only took me 2 years to figure out that I could
Yeah.
just reverse the
Just
camera,
reverse
and now
it.
we can see if everything's good. Yeah. All right.
Waving.
Today.
Clear
Book your
vision. Hey,
free,
see?
no obligation
Look at that.
consultation
Clear vision.
at
Do you know clear vision?
LaserCam.com.
Oh, it's LASIK
Finance
MD.
LASIK MD.
We're talking laser today.
Ballet returns
Lane
to
Montreal.
to present one of
Yeah.
Mikey just got surgery Friday.
No way. And can he play hockey right
I
away?
can play Tuesday.
Because you have to wait like 3 days.
A few days, yeah. But he's
So he can play Tuesday.
Yeah.
Wow.
What about you? You want to do it?
Well, it's too late now unless I do it for reading. Because I would need it. I can get surgery for far,
Yeah.
so I've been told, but I won't be able to read properly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm just reverse. I still need glasses to read instead of in the car.
Oh, you don't need glasses to read?
No.
He takes them off. And he's
Get
perfect.
out! How do people that? Oh my.
Nearsightedness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me crazy when people take
But I
off
have
their glasses to read.
I have astigmatism too.
But probably not much. Everybody has a bit of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you're much younger than me because I've been wearing reading glasses. I probably don't progressive, but I'm wearing reading glasses for forever.
So for all the boomers, you're going to hear a little. Oh, you won't be able to hear it on Facebook, but it's going to be Betty Davis eyes.
Yeah.
Is there going to be intro? Oh, we're on.
Okay, are we ready?
And welcome back to Life Unrehearsed. Corey, little Betty Davis eyes here to start us off. My name is Matt Del Vecchio. I specialize in free retirement home search and senior transition support.
And I'm Corey Sirota, clinical social worker and psychotherapist specializing in grief and loss.
Corey, you know, a little bit Betty Davis eyes, because this segment is indeed about eyes and eye concerns. And, you know, as we age, it seems to become more and more prevalent, but it could be anything from children and all the way up to seniors. I've got a buddy of mine. He lost his eye, unfortunately, to a renovation accident. A wonderful colleague of mine and dear friend, she just a couple months ago just woke up with a bit of blurry vision, and one thing led to another, and like within 48 hours, she is now blind in one eye. Just happened like that. Something called temporal arteritis, not arthritis, but like arteritis. And, you know, how could she know about something like that? And before you know it. And so it's very, very scary. It's a topic we've wanted to discuss for a long, long time. That's why, you know, we're very happy to bring this up.
Absolutely, I'm thrilled to have, because there's so many questions and concerns that come up, we really want to highlight what proper proactive eye care is, whether it's children or seniors. We need to be cognizant and aware of what are the potential challenges, and of course moving into how do we improve our situations if we can, or keep ourselves healthy. So because of all these issues, we are thrilled to have in studio with us optometrist Dr. Dan Samaha, who we're now going to refer to as Dr. Dan.
Dr. Dan's in the house.
Yeah. He's a professor at the University of Montreal, and he works with retina, glaucoma, and emergency and cataract surgery evaluation clinics. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Thanks,
So,
Dr. Dan, for being here.
Dr. Dan for being here. So we keep saying how important eye care is, regardless of the age. Let's start with even children. What age should they be going for eye checkups, having eye exams done? What age and why?
Okay, so I mean, 80% of learning in kids' learning happens through vision. we recommend eye exams from 3 years on, and every year after that. I hear so many stories from parents being told their kids have learning disabilities, dyslexia. Then they bring the kids in for the eye exam. We detect uncorrected vision problem. I mean, the whole thing is backwards. The eye exam should be done first to all the kids. It's covered, and we can detect any problems going from a myopia, nearsightedness, astigmatism, lazy eyes, or amblyopia, and as early as 2 years old.
Wow.
It's amazing, you wouldn't think of it, but it makes perfect sense,
Yeah.
right? Learning disabilities may be due to vision issues, and like you're saying, preschoolers, it's covered. Why not start? Dr. Dan, we're gonna bring you to the other end of the spectrum now, and why is it important for those 65 and over for the same issues to get your eyes checked out regularly?
I mean, even before that, the risk of developing an eye disease after the age of 50 significantly increases. For example, glaucoma. There's about 100,000 people in Quebec living with glaucoma, and half of them don't even know about it because there's no symptoms to it until the damage is severe. Same thing with macular degeneration. Both diseases and many others can be detected during an eye exam, and sometimes optometrists can even prescribe treatments for them.
So what you're saying, though, this is symptomless until you get the eye exam. It's not something's itchy or hurting, or
Nope, exactly.
it's the
You
exam.
lose your vision slowly, and you're not even aware of it.
So what you're saying is, once you hit 50, that's the red flag age. Get going. Get some
Yes.
eye exams
So
done.
let's talk. You're talking eye exams. How often should someone get an eye exam done?
So, for kids, 3 years old, first exam before going into preschool, elementary, and then yearly after that, and then regularly depending on what kind of eye problems you get, and we definitely recommend them yearly again at the age of 50 and onwards.
That's Dr. Dan Samaha, optometrist, talking to us about proper eye care. Dr. Dan, we're going to bring you through the age cycle again to tell us what are some of the most common eye issues you see. And let's begin with kids, okay? And we're going to bring you up in age. So with kids, what do you see most
Definitely
commonly?
uncorrected eye problems from staring at the screen up close for very long periods of times.
We know the kids don't stare at screens.
No,
Corey,
they don't.
well, even speak for ourselves, right, Corey?
Myopia is becoming a pandemic. Kids are becoming more and more myope and getting myopia at earlier and earlier ages.
Can you explain myopia?
Yeah, so basically myopia, the eye becomes too powerful. Basically, the image doesn't form clearly on the retina, so it forms in front of the retina. So basically, people have to squint, or they can't see afar.
So you said myopia, glaucoma. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so glaucomas used to be considered as high pressure in the eyes, but basically it's an optic nerve disease, the optic nerve degenerative disease, which can eventually lead to blindness. Not always caused by high pressure.
And we were going through the ages. So when would you see that versus kids? You were talking about screen time. What about as we get older?
And well, in the general adult population, I mean, definitely dry eye. We're getting more and more aware of dry eyes and the screen time, and causing the decrease in blinking time, as well as contact lens hygiene. More and more contact lenses are being sold online, so contact lenses are being worn overnight when they're not supposed to, not being properly cleaned at night, being worn past their extended lifetime. So we're seeing a lot of increased complications related to contact lenses because of the increased sales online. So there's a lot of patient education to be done on that.
Dr. Dan Samaha, optometrist, talking to us about proper eye care. Continuing along that vein, in this rapid fire question, so informative. You talk about prevention of eye issues. So often it's reactive situations, and it really shouldn't be that. So can you give us some good prevention tips for good eye care? Again, it could be for different ages as well.
I mean, UV protection, that's a given. From dry eyes to macular degeneration, UVs can affect virtually all parts of the eye. And it's so easy to do. I mean, just wear a cap, sunglasses. Regular eye exams, obviously, the best way to get educated on your own state of health in your eyes. Balanced diet, healthy lifestyle, they've both been shown to decrease the risk of disease in the eyes.
Wow.
So,
I wouldn't have
very
known
easy
that.
stuff to do.
So let's go back to this UV rays, because there's some nice sunglasses out there, but are they all the same?
What you should be looking for is the little sticker or little information coming with the sunglasses that says UV 400. If you see that information somewhere in your package or on the frame, then you know you're getting protected for what you need to be protected for. After that, it's the style and the durability, obviously, of the frames, but that's up to you, really.
Dr. Dan, just again, other things you talked about. I was surprised you said nutrition, but it's what you're saying is very factual. And let's bring it to everyone's got mobile phones, and you have the brightness factor. Could that make a difference? Should you be lowering the brightness of mobile phones, or means nothing?
I mean, there's a lot of controversies about blue light, as they call it, for ocular health. There's nothing specifically targeting eye diseases and blue light as of yet. We know it affects sleeping cycle and other non-eye related conditions. But obviously, staring at the screen for long periods of times, I mean, you're staring at something, you're blinking less, so it will make your eyes drier, more tired. In kids, very important. I mean, kids have the bad habit of wanting to keep everything up close. So, and staring at the screen for long periods of time, it can make the kids nearsighted.
So there we go, Corey. Less screen time. It's obvious, but we need to push it not just for our kids, but for ourselves as well.
Right.
We're going to head out to traffic soon, Dr. Dan. And one of the questions that Corey wanted to know, which I thought was brilliant, was if you ask a laser treatment surgeon about laser eye surgery, well, what's the answer going to be? Of course it's great, but we wanted to have an unbiased view from an optometrist about your thoughts about laser surgery and trending operations going on in laser surgery. But let's first head to the CJD Traffic Center with Lauren Glazer.
So if I shut
I
mine.
but his is live.
Yeah.
Wow, we covered a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be able to put in my questions now. Did you hear? I'm gonna ask. If we have to put in. I don't think we're gonna have to, but I would things like eyelash extensions.
So I'll obviously you'll ask that question.
Only later. That's
So
only later. The other one is.
So then I was putting in some eyelash extensions the other
The
day.
other one is tanning beds and the little covers for your eyes. How helpful that. Those are supplemental questions if we get there. But we're going to come back with the pros and cons of laser surgery. I want to talk about progressive eyeglasses.
And Medicare, does Medicare cover? I like the Medicare. I'm going to ask that after.
Okay, no problem.
Because what you said, like, this is foolish for people not to do these exams, especially if Medicare is going to cover it.
Yeah.
So you'll tell us what ages are covered. And so, okay. And then we can get into progressive.
Yeah.
And then
if we
eyelashes, if you can squeeze
either-
that in.
Yeah, if it's so not.
So at around 5.
227.
You just missed it. You heard the hey?
Yeah.
Right in the middle of a commercial.
Incorporated Financial Services.
That was a hey right in the middle of a commercial.
Oh.
And Marco's commercial.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was he happy, Marco?
Yeah.
In the end, he was happy?
Okay, so laser, Medicare.
Maybe something on it. What else? Is there something else we should be asking?
I mean, the Medicare cards.
Okay,
Is
that-
important.
so
So
that's
then
gonna
we'll
be
have some
enough.
fun with eyelashes. Go
Yeah.
for it as the third one if you want.
Eyelashes, little glasses with sun.
Or we got progressive eyeglasses too,
Well, we
right?
have progressive. I'm gonna.
What's
so
the question about progressive?
Well, just progressive eye. What are the benefits? And I'm gonna tell a story about because I wear progressives. And,
Oh yeah, because you got dizzy and stuff, and
Well-
or
For the first few days, probably.
Yeah.
well, everyone told me that, and I put them on, and it was like, oh my god, no! I was like, oh my god, that's what everything looks like.
Yeah.
I needed these glasses so
For
badly, like
years.
fish in water.
let's go on Facebook.
Everybody
Right?
told me
Yeah.
that I would be nauseous. I have to get used to them. Like not even a minute did I need to get used to them. Not even a minute. I
that's
cannot believe.
It didn't
Perfect-
take you
how
perfect
long.
patience.
Nothing.
No?
Perfect.
Nothing.
I was
I
a little.
put them on and I
The
was
nearsighted
like,
people
oh,
are more pointy.
Oh really?
Yeah.
oh
Is
my
there a
god,
taste
did they
tag?
save my
Looks
life?
like
So I
everyone's
went
earning
and I
points
got. So
faster.
these are my progressives. I got 2 pairs of sunglasses progressive because driving and
Yeah.
wherever I am, I happen to have 2 pairs of sunglasses that I liked. I said I got to do this, and I'm always worried though. Well, that's the other thing is last week I didn't have my glasses.
Where were they?
I was in. I left in my car. I was in. No, I didn't have my glasses, so I was like, "Man, what am I gonna do? Oh my God, what am I gonna do?" Because I cannot read. I'm not even like barely. I said,
Okay, here we go.
so unpleasant. Oh, I'll come back, right? I just love this music. Welcome back to Life Unrehearsed. I'm Corey Serrato with my co-host Matt Del Vecchio, and we are talking with optometrist Dr. Dan Samaha about proper eye care and the prevention of ocular diseases and a whole host of really other important, cool topics. So, of course, my interest was around laser surgery and laser treatment. And what are the, I would say, the pros and cons of laser surgery?
I mean, laser for vision correction has come a long way. Basically, people have to, the patient, the prospective patient has to be properly evaluated to make sure, first of all, he's a good candidate, and depending on what kind of laser surgery he wants to go through. But given the right circumstances, the right patient, LASIK surgery can really significantly increase the quality of life, obviously. For example, in athletes who can't wear contact lenses during sports, or people who work in very dusty environments who can't wear contact lenses. I mean, but you basically have to be evaluated and make sure that you have a good surface condition.
So what about this new fangled, and I don't know, and I won't hold you to it, but the idea of, I always understood it as something for people that needed distance, but now they're saying even for those that have reading glasses, true or false?
True. I mean, it's been the treatment for presbyopia or age-related difficulty to read has been.
Corey, that's you and me,
Yeah.
by the way. Okay, that's
I know.
he's polite,
It's
Doctor.
been around for
Yeah,
a few years now, and it does show promise. I mean, it has its limitations. I mean, but it can give you freedom of glasses for several years.
Really?
And that's coming a long ways from what I understand in talking to a few people. We're at that age where, okay, the vision, but if you get the vision for long distances, then you're stuck with reading glasses. But I've been told now laser for reading glasses. So quite interesting. Now, Dr. Dan, you are obviously an advocate of getting your eyes checked regularly. A lot of these diseases are symptomless. We learned a lot here, Corey. So I'm questioning why, and we could be just as guilty with our own kids, why aren't we doing it more, especially when Medicare is covering at certain ages? Can you explain what Medicare covers in terms of cost?
So Medicare covers yearly exams for everybody under the age of 18 and everybody 65 and wiser. Okay, so it's a shame because in Quebec, less than 20% of kids actually have their first eye exams before going in school. And seniors, less than half of all seniors in Quebec get their eyes checked every year. It's covered.
And it's covered.
We're paying for it with our
it's
taxes,
free
so we
charge.
should take care of it.
Corey, you know, that's my business is seniors, and a
Right.
lot of slips and falls,
Mhm.
unfortunately, are due to vision issues. You know, not
Right.
seeing something in front of them and tripping, and a lot of these things can be avoided with as an annual checkup is covered by Medicare, 65 and over.
Yes.
Is that right?
Annual, calendar year.
No excuses.
Silly question, but is it hard to find an optometrist?
Not at all. I mean, you can go on the association website, the Quebec Association of Optometrists, plug in your postal code, and they'll give you a list of surrounding clinics in your neighborhood.
There you go. There you go. And there you have it. No excuses. For sure not. So let's talk about progressive glasses. Because I got my first pair of progressive glasses. I've been wearing reading glasses for quite some time, but probably 2 years ago now. And everyone told me, oh, be careful when you get your progressives. You're going to be nauseous. It takes a long time to get used to them. It's, you know, it can be very unsettling. I put them on, and it was like a fish out of water, in water. I was like, oh my God, that's what everything looks like? I really walked around
You're missing
blind,
out.
essentially, for a while. But that's not always the case. Can you
No,
tell
I
me?
mean, as the name says, it's a progressive lens. So the vision goes from distance to intermediate and to near. Some patients may experience a bit of distortion because the lens has inherent distortions in it, but it usually takes a few days to get used to.
But it can be a lifesaver.
Oh, of
really,
course.
eh?
It gives all the prescriptions you need for distance and near in one lens, so you don't have to go change your
Well, that's
glasses.
what I was doing. I
Depending
found.
on if you're driving or reading or studying or going on the computer, you have all the powers you need in one lens.
I have progressive glasses too, Corey, and you're right, Dr. Dan. It was a couple days of adjustment, but yeah, lifesaver is right. You're able to read and see vision. Certainly felt a lot more safer when driving, especially at night and if there's rain. So very very happy I made that move. Not cheap, but it's you weigh that versus the alternatives and getting in accidents and tripping and falling. Yeah, Dr. Dan, we have Dr. Dan Samaha with us in studio, optometrist, and there's phone calls, and we're not going to be able to respond to these phone calls. There's texts coming in, quick little rapid fire. Corey, you're going to like this one. It's about eyelashes. These eyelashes that you and you even had, I think, a situation, Corey, with
Well,
Oh,
you got it.
I did, let's be okay. Disclaimer here: I did have extensions at one point, but I developed very very bad reaction and rashes. So
My extensions have been working just fine,
Yeah,
Corey.
yours look beautiful, man.
Thank you.
What's the deal with extensions? Is it dangerous for the eyes?
I mean, dangerous. It's all relative. We have debris and microorganisms living on our skin and lashes. The glue that's used for the lashes, the little microorganisms love that glue, so they cramp up around it, and the population of these little living beings on our skin is exaggerated all around the eyes, and you can develop allergic reactions, severely dry eyes. So obviously, it's got to be done professionally, and it's not for everybody.
Another quick text, and we're running out of time here, about in the sun tanning beds. You know those little plastic glasses that you wear? You have to wear those for a reason, I guess.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
what's the reason?
The skin around the eyelids
Yeah.
is one of the thinnest ones in the whole body. So obviously you want to protect, as I mentioned before, any damage caused by the UV lights. I don't think they're regulated, but obviously if you're going to go tanning, definitely get some eye protection.
Well, thank you for clearing that up for so many people. You need to understand that, and obviously you have helpfully, I made up a word. You've been very helpful in sharing a lot of information in a very short period of time. I appreciate you coming here, sharing it with us. How can people get more info about proper eye care?
Like I mentioned before, the association website, AOQ, has a bunch of information on different eye diseases, where to find your closest optometrist. And I also work and teach at the University Clinic, so they can look up the Montreal University Vision Clinic website.
So University of Montreal Vision Clinic is what to look up.
Exactly.
And there's tons of information, helpful hints, advice.
Exactly.
And get to see your good-looking face there as well, I guess. I might add, Corey, a heck of a hockey player too.
Oh, there you go, and there you have it. So thank you so much again. Next week on Life Unrehearsed, we're talking bullying, how to identify it, and what you can do about it.
And we're going to be speaking to a mom whose 17-year-old son was shot dead by police this past summer. You might have seen it all over the news. This happened in Knowlton last summer. And she will be in studio with us, and she, believe it or not, still cannot get answers. So that will be next Sunday, and you can hear us every Sunday at 4 o'clock listening to Life Unrehearsed. So we'll let you get set up, and you let us know. So just as long as we can be in a position to press the on button, you got to cut the mic.
Are you considering downsizing your home? It's an overwhelming process. Where do you begin? Hi, I'm Stephanie Kidu, residential real
Just
estate
wanna-
broker with Royal LePage Village. I understand the
That's
stress
my wife.
and anxiety seniors experience.
Do you know-
Taking the important
'cause
step of selling a family home is overwhelming. That's why I'm supported by a team of professionals in downsizing, home repairs, and staging. Please visit my website at
So happy.
movingsenior.ca or call 514
Movingsenior.ca. Stephanie. All right, Dan.
It was fun.
Say goodbye to Facebook.
You were
Thank you
great.
so much. Really,
That was
really
fun.
good.